go with that one as an homage to Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines, which has very little to do with this game. I want to emphasize that because, especially with, you know, the new, whatchamacallit, I guess the sort of emerging popularity of vampire games nowadays. I mean, for a time I think Bloodlines was selling really well recently on Steam, and there's Bloodlines 2 that's coming out, you know. You might be tempted to think that this has something to do with that. This is primarily a 3D dungeon crawler, which is an interesting choice. Not that many of those around. Now, anyways, let's talk to this person that brought us from the dead, brought us back from the dead even. She's going to send us on a mission to go to talk to Valak. I don't have enough persuasion to get a better weapon, unfortunate, but... so yes, obviously there's a bit of a tutorial, there's the basics, and the game pretty much lets you loose as soon as you sire your first minion. And also there's the 3 powers I'm going to talk about a little bit about, but one thing I'm not going to talk to you about is the story, because it doesn't matter, Juggernaut? No, the story's not bad. There is a story to it, which is more than, you know, a lot of games can say for themselves, but... The thing is, why does this not go a little bit faster? Doesn't matter. Anyways, thing is, the story itself is alright. I'm not going to focus on it because there's a few other things to worry about. Plus, it's not really the focus of the game, right? So, by the way, this is very important. It's Beware the Wraith. It will... put you down back into the grave. Anyway, so we can go down here and find that there is a fire zombie. Kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it. And we can take our first look at the combat. So, yeah. Okay, usually I start off my... Interesting. Usually I start off these videos with what I like about the game, and then move on to talk about things I don't like, and ultimately, you know, I talk about maybe the visual aesthetics a little bit, and then I tell you whether I would recommend the game or not. I'm assuming there's a way to turn that off. Maybe even the game told me and I'm just not paying attention because I'm focusing on what I'm trying to say. But anyways, this is where we're supposed to go, so we're going to go and do that. Anyways, like I was saying, so we can summon our minion and we can have multiple of them. Also, fun fact, we can send our minions to do stuff while they're not fighting for us. And if we notice our minion's a little bit low on health, that can be altered as well. Just send him away and your minion will regenerate. Now, let's level up and show the various skills we have. So, for now, we have these skills available to us. Well, no, we have these skills. These are all the skills that we can take a look at right now, but these are the ones available to take. So, let's go with Call a Crow. And do we have one more? No, we're going to pick the next one later, and this is a talent. Yeah, sure, more damage with spells sounds nice and good. So yeah, there you go, you can add a command. Obviously you can't right now because she's with us, but yeah. Anywho, oh, we can level up here as well, which I forgot about. Let's put some more in persuasion. And then one more in vitality even, because, yeah, the game's kinda tough. But, like I said, usually I start off with the positives, and, well, let me start off with one positive. There's a lot of content here, right? So, between all the fighting, the leveling up, and all of that, the map size is huge. The loot variety is very much satisfying, right? There is a story, there is you leveling up your character, you leveling up your lineage, various quests, various factions, so on and so forth. So there is quite a lot to this game. Can't lie, there is quite a bit to it here. However, I'm going to talk mostly about the negatives from now on, because there's nothing positive to say about the game. Obviously, I'm joking. No. Do I ultimately like the game? Yes, a fair bit. However, I have a few major sort of issues with it that I think are much more important than, well, than all the other positives. No, that's not necessarily what I mean, but they're very important in terms of how do I put this? I think that it's important to stress these out at the start, and then, you know, you'll get a better idea for whether something like this is for you or not. Though, I mean, you sort of can see that already partially. What am I talking about? Well, first of all, one of my biggest pet peeves with the game are the visuals. Yeah, so obviously this is not the prettiest game in the world, nor does it need to be. That's not the issue. But that's a level 6 in, mate. You're level 6. Yeah, I can't kill you. So I'm what, like level 2, level 3? Yeah, I'm not going to be able to kill you. Let's go to the yard. The gameplay in the background, if I'm going to do such a serious video on it. The visuals are really sort of... how do I put this? Well, okay, so this is Bloodborne. This is the second game in the series, right? I kind of preferred the visuals of the first one. Even though there wasn't that much of a difference, I half preferred the visuals of the first one, because there is quite a bit of charm in all of that, oh, how should I put it? The simplicity and the sort of aged look of the...
Cannot do that.
Get out of there, thank you very much. We'll try and summon the spirit of Edgar Allan Poe to help me, but I somehow doubt that's going to be very useful. Actually, we might succeed and then get the hell out of here, because we killed one. Alright, here we go. Spirit of Edgar Allan Poe, aid me. Okay, no, bad idea, bad idea, bad idea, bad idea. Why are you not moving? Oh, never mind, you've changed. Okay, let's get out of here. We never should have come here. Leave. Game is, by the way, just letting you loose into the wilderness. You have no idea what's behind the next corner. Well, you sort of do. But not realistically, right? You don't quite know what's around the next corner, and it's not going to hold your hand at all. Oh. Did not know that could happen. Bye! I've changed my mind again. Oh dear, oh dear. Okay, let's do something a little bit more sensible, shall we? And, how exactly do I level up? Yeah, I suppose like that, sure. Okay. Right, we were supposed to go somewhere entirely different from what I remember. No? Yes? Maybe? Location warehouse. Not all that useful. Oh, sorry about that, someone at the door. So yeah, it looks a little bit cheap, I suppose, is one way of putting it. And, you know, I don't necessarily... That was remarkably stupid, I didn't know I was going to hit it. It's not necessarily a sort of, I don't know, elitist thing, I suppose, if you want to call it that. But it's just the fact that, you know, you expect a certain amount of things to be good and right when you pay for a game, and for $11, this is definitely not ripping you off or anything. And I'm not going to judge it like a AAA title, but if it's the meat and soul of the game, and it is combat and loot, loot's done tremendously well. By the way, there's a merchant. Hi. Hey, I sold that to him last time. Is there anything else you want to buy? Collect 3 cards to gain legendary loot. Interesting. Okay, I suppose you can have these.
Not interested.
You're not interested. Okay. Let's put on my my stuff, and then we'll probably be able to do a little bit better. Who knew? 11 to 13, that's a significant damage buff. Because it's crap. Because it's less RNG based. There we go. Okay, is there anything else I can... I saw some goggles. Quite a bit of inventory space, you're gonna need it, right? Goggles. Destroyed, though, yeah, okay. There's a bomb attached to this thing as well, unfortunately. Okay. Following the map, we shall head this way now. Damn, alright. But I think a sort of semi-ironic thing is that if something like Vampire the Masquerade had combat like this, I'd just be still playing that game today, probably after how many years of its release, right? The combat in Masquerade is even worse, but Masquerade didn't put that much emphasis on the combat. It was more about... Crap, okay, there we go. It was more about, you know... I guess... the RPG element, and the story, and... the interactions you had with the world and with other characters, and I guess stealth to an extent, since you had a couple of stealth missions in there, and, you know, dedicated stealth missions too. And the powers that you can use in an RPG sense, rather than being solely focused on combat. But this thing is, and as a result, it doesn't get as much of a free pass. That said, though, I've been harking on this for quite a bit, so I'm going to lay off it. You pretty much see what you get. If you think you can... I don't want to say tolerate it, because it's definitely not that horrible, but if you think that this is of a sufficient quality, especially for the asking price, then yeah, I mean, you've pretty much seen everything you need to see about the combat. Obviously, it does evolve later when you get more abilities, and something I'm not doing right now is leveling up regularly. And, you know, obviously you have different minions you can summon, different things you can do, different abilities you can cast, and so on and so forth. And that's all fine and well. Let's use Intimidate, I like that. Cool, okay. Now, talents. More spell damage, please. Thank you very much. And, let's see. You can go ahead and try and find loot for me, and I can level you up as well, can I? Can I not? Yes, I can. Good. You found a sapphire and a bloodstone. Is that what you're trying to tell me? Interesting. Okay. Let's go. According to the map, over yonder. And in general, I mean, some of the UI design feels a little bit clunky too, in that occasionally it'll be sort of brilliant, right? It'll serve its purpose, it'll be there, it'll be good, and then it'll just look a bit meh and a bit cheap and a bit cluttered. Case in point. And as well, I had a moment when I was running away from something. I don't remember what it was. I think it was the Wraith. On the other character. And what happened was I got stuck in a dialogue and couldn't leave while the Wraith was chasing me. Needless to say, it caught up to me. Now, I can talk to you about the Wraith. It's essentially death incarnate. You cannot fight it, but it can fight you. No, it basically takes you to its own lair, and it's the most challenging part of the game, basically. Not the Wraith running, or the running away from the Wraith itself, but that part of the that part of the game, I suppose. I can't think of another way to put it. It's sort of like a dungeon, and the best loot in the game apparently is found there. So that's again such an interesting thing, and a lot of the mechanics as well when you think about it. And I mean the levels, you siring them, the amount of loot, the wraith mechanic, a sort of blend of RPG and dungeon crawling and all of that is very, very good, right? Especially on a, like, idea level and a design level. Execution is actually pretty darn good as well on most of these, apart from, you know, the combat being a little bit floaty, the UI being a little bit, neither here nor there, occasionally, and, yeah, and the visuals, but that's, again, like a highly, highly subjective thing, so I won't talk about that anymore. You're going to notice often, and I feel I need to point this out, you're going to notice often that the combat shows its weakness the most when you're engaging targets that are not on the same level as you. Not on the same, like, height as you, right? If you're above them or they're above you, you're going to have some significant problems hitting them, and it's going to look like you're hitting them, but you're not going to be doing any damage. And overall, it's not a very pleasant experience. But other than that, you know, when on a level playing field like this, and when casting abilities and having other things fight for you, speaking of, let's go with the Raven, and let's go with one of the minions. Stop summoning things. Thank ya. Good. Good, there you go. So, you know, when doing stuff like this, it's actually alright. So, if you are going to pick up the game, I'm going to recommend that you play a witch and you summon the Christ out of everything. It is completely viable. There's also that which is, I can go over here, right? Famous last words. I think that was a crit. It looked like a crit. It was fairly interesting. Alright. But yeah. So, on an idea level, I've always felt like these games, quote-unquote, I've always felt like these games have such immense potential, but always fall short a little bit in some aspects. That's from a review on Steam, by the way. Juggernaut, have you memorized it just for this? Yes, I've memorized it word for word. For a person that has quite a few hours in both this and the original game. So yeah, I think that sort of encapsulates what I was meaning to say, and then sort of encapsulates a lot of how I feel about this particular title. So yeah, there we go. It's a complicated game to review, especially due to the amount of content that it has, and it really does have quite a bit of content. This is not just, you know, explore 1 or 3 dungeons and the game ends. That's it. No, there's a lot of stuff here. There's a lot to this game, and you're certainly getting your worth for the value of you're certainly getting back the value of your money that you put in for it. It's, I think, $11. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's $11 on Steam. So yeah, if you don't mind games of this type, indie games of this type, and you want to support the development of such titles, then absolutely go for it. But with the issues of combat being...
Help me.
Oh. Shite, I forgot to... Ah, never mind. Can I not bite you? No. Shite, that was remarkably stupid. That was remarkably stupid. You're not supposed to kill civilians, you're supposed to drain them and sire them. Yeah, I know. Somehow that makes it better, right? Sorry. Apparently it does. Here's the thing, though. Ooh, those are cool. I'll take those. Thank you very much. Yes, mixed with pie pieces and gunpowder can produce a bomb. There's also crafting. That's fairly minimal, though. minimalistic even, I suppose. But yeah, so you know.
Please
Ooh,
help me.
hi.
They've locked us up in here.
Let's make sure I don't.
I don't want to turn into.
Yeah, let's make sure I don't murder you by accident. By the way, you can go away, Lisa. Good. So yeah, let's sire him as well. Actually, can I sire him? I don't think I can. Stop. I can change that. Put 2 in strength, 2 in vitality, I suppose, 1 in intelligence. Make sense? Makes sense. Okay, and then skill points. Additional. See what I'm. Go away! I'm doing something. I'm busy. More from knives and daggers. I suppose. Faster moving will be good too. We're gonna get that next. And now, where were we? Ah, yes. I'm at level 2, not 3. Guess my other character's on level 3. Doesn't matter. I'm mixing up the two and probably should have played with that one. It's later on in the game as well. They're not by much. Anyhow, I think that pretty much wraps it up for this video. It's decent. It looks worse. It is a difficult sentence to say, and I'm trying to. I mean it with the best of intentions. It looks worse than what it might seem on like a cursory glance, if that makes sense. So if you give the, you know, if it were just me looking at the game for like, I don't know, a minute or two, I go like, this doesn't seem all that great. But if you give it a chance, if you take a look at the sort of depth that there is, especially for an indie game, if you take a look at that, and if you give it the chance, you're going to see that there's quite a bit to it, and there's a decent bit here that may even keep you, you know, coming back to it and keep you playing the game. Especially, I've went into some of the later areas where I wasn't supposed to be, where I'm not supposed to be even now with the other character, and there's all sorts of enemies. Like, the enemy variety is huge. There's demons and all sorts of things, not to spoil too much, right? Someone, for those of you that are actually looking forward to picking the game up, or thinking about it, at the very least. Yeah, there's like a huge variety thing that it's really not that much about vampires. This is just sort of like, one element to it, I suppose, more it's not the focus of the game, that much. But anyways, yeah, that's going to be it for this video. Thank you very much for watching, ladies and gentlemen. Like, subscribe down below if you enjoyed the video and want to... I said video twice. If you enjoyed it and want to stay tuned with the rest of the content that I produce here. I'd also like to say thank you to the developers for giving me a free beta key, or a free, it's not a beta key, what do you call it? It's, press key, thank you. A free press key to take a look at the game. And, yeah, that's pretty much it for now. Have fun. Take care, and bye-bye.